Okay, so thank you all again for, we had a little bit of a hiatus there, but thank you coming back to our weekly seminars, or monthly seminars, if you will. This week, as you can see on your screen, we are doing Cesari's Hidden Gems with Antonella Riccio. You probably remember her from her last seminar back in, I guess it was May. I honestly don't recall any more dates or time in general. But anyway, it'll be the same format as we've always been doing, about a half-hour presentation and then some questions at the end. Feel free to type them in at the bottom if there is a chat on here, which there is. If not, you can just raise your hand when you click on the participants tab, and I will unmute you and you can ask Antonella her question. So yeah, Antonella, the floor is yours.
Okay, thank you, Mike, as usual for your introduction. First of all, thank you all for being here. And today we are going to focus our attention on Cesari Hidden Gems. And in particular, we are speaking about the Centofilari from Lugana DOC and the Gemma wine. But before going through this, our hidden gems, let me just refresh you in general about our position in our territory. We are always doing this type of introduction because to understand the position of our land and the area is important to understand why our wines are so unique. Because the position of our land is close to the Garda Lake, close to the Dolomite Mountain, and the influence on the Adriatic Sea is also another element that gives to our territory and our soil all the characteristics that after you can find inside the wines. Cesari has 100 hectares of vineyard. Our main vineyards and in the Valpolicella area. We have spoken about it last time, and you will see in the next slide a map about the interior area. But by now, just to refresh that in Valpolicella Classica we have 4 main vineyards. 3 of them are single vineyards. The Bozan, the Bosco, and the Gemma, that is the vineyard, our single vineyard that we are going to speak about today. The experimental vineyard on San Ciriaco, I told about it last time. And then the Centofilari, that is another of our single vineyard from Lugana. That is the second wine that we are going to speak about. During my refresh of the Cesari winery, you can see now the Cavaillon Veronese. This part of our estate is focused on the aging and the bottling, in particular of the wines Amarone and Ripasso. This is a picture of our new estate that is Fumane Cellar. Yes, that is Fumane Cellar. This will be the cellar dedicated to the drying process and to the fermentation. As I told you last time, this is new and very sophisticated cellar in which all the processes are automatic. Okay, let's go inside our gem. Centofilari, 100 rows, is located in the Lugana area. As you can see from the map, the lake of Garda is, of course, the blue one, and the Lugana area is in the southern part, in the light yellow zone. This area is characterized for sure from one side, from the lake influence, but also because it's absolutely full of very mineral and prehistoric hills, because it is an area that was interested in the past by the erosion of the glaciers in the last part of the Ice Age. The Moranic Hills are the result of this erosion of glaciers. Geography speaking, we are between two regions, and that are Veneto region and Lombardia region, the province of Brescia and the province of Verona. The area is interested by 4 small towns in the province of Brescia: Desenzano del Garda, Sirmione, Pozzolengo e Lonato, and one from the province of Verona, that is Peschiera del Garda. Our 100 rows of vineyards is located in Pozzolengo, between Pozzolengo and Peschiera del Garda. As maybe you know, that is 100 hectares, and that we have inside 4,100 plants for hectares. We are proud, and we want to underline the numbers of the plants every time that is possible, because the number of the plants inside the vineyard is strictly connected with the quality of the wines. You know that the selection of the wines and in general how many plants are present inside the vineyard for an hectare is one of the elements that gives quality to the wines. The training system is Archetto Semplice, and the soil is clay and calcareous. Actually, for sure clay, but also gravels are present inside the soil. Maybe in this picture you can see a little bit better the training system that we call Archetto Semplice. If I'm running too fast, Mike, just tell me. Mike? I'm
here. You're good.
Okay.
Keep going.
Okay. Okay. Our grapes. When I speak about the Lugana, I have to speak about the Turbiana grape. As you can see here, the Turbiana in our Lugana Centofilari is 95%, and the rest is 5% of Chardonnay. The Lugana is DOC from 1967, and as you can see, the rule says that the 90% of the wine has to be done by Tribiano De Lugana or Turbiana. At the beginning, a little bit of history about the Turbiana grape. At the beginning, the Turbiana is always been considered like a clone of the Trebbiano di Soave. In any way, a grape from the Trebbiano, the big Trebbiano grape family. But after years, and in particular after DNA test that is done recently at the university, Milan University, we discovered that the particular characteristic, the unique characteristic that that type of grape has in the south part of the Lake of Garda, so in Lugana area, means that the Turbiana can be considered an independent grape varietal from the land of the Lake of Garda. This is important because now we can begin to speak about it like an autochthon type of grape. So a unique varietal that is typical from this side. The Turbiana is what is the grape that gives to the wine the body and the structure. And as for sure, you know, the Chardonnay is the percent that gives to the wine the freshness. The specific of our rule, what is said in the rule of the Lugana DOC, 90%, as I told you before, Tribiano De Lugana or Turbiana, and 30% of white berried grapes authorized in the provinces of Brescia and Verona. This is the reason why we can put inside the wine the 5% of Chardonnay, because it's one of the allowed grapes by our rule. Grapes that are used for the Lugana has to be grown in the registered area wine of the production of the Lugana. So that means that all the grapes that are inside the wine has to be produced in that area. The law says that the minimum percent of alcohol inside the wine has to be 10.5. But usually you will find Lugana wine close to the 12% of alcohol inside the wine. Again, morainic terroir, soil rich of clay and gravels. In this picture, you can see, or we are trying to make you see how the terroir and the soil is made. And this type of soil gives minerality, aromatic notes, freshness, complexity, and authoritativeness to the wines at the end. These are the characteristics that you can find inside the Lugana, and in particular in our Centofilari, tasting it in different years. What does it mean? Lugana is very good for aging. Our Centofilari is very good for aging. That means that you can drink and taste it immediately. And the first sensation that you will have will be the freshness and both the aromatic notes. But after 2 or 3 years, maybe the first sensation that you will have is the complexity. And after more and more years, you will be able to feel much more the complexity of the body. We are speaking here about authoritativeness, because we would like to underline his unique body after years of the years of production. Some information about how we work in the vineyards and then in the cellar. So 90 quintals per hectares you know that this type of indication are always being referred to the quality of the wines. Almost the 20% of the grape ripened on cut-off shots to the entrance to make entering structure and concentration from the bunches. And about the vinification, we can add that the vinification has been carried out with soft pressing of the grapes. And as usual, and as it always happens in this area for the winemaking, the alcoholic fermentation is done under controlled temperature. I know that there is someone is writing, but I'm not able to read, so maybe we can.
With the questions, yeah, we'll get the questions at the end if you want. Yeah.
Okay, thank you. As maybe a lot of you already know, Centofilari stay lasted up to until January in contact with the skins, and also this practice is to give a better expression of the characteristics that are both inside the bunch and inside the skins. And this is the result. So we have a straw yellow color. We are going to have a refresh about the organolactic characteristic of the wine. So we can see a straw yellow color, and as I told you, for sure we have a very strong note of flowers and fruits, but again, minerality and acidity are the characteristic that we would like to underline every time. Also because after it there is a very big fullness and softness, but I can say also actually a very body white wine that is very, very good for aging, as I told you. This type of wine is also an international wine because the characteristic to be able to age is one of the most important things, and we care about it also because we would like that our Lugana can be I mean, sold everywhere, but I can just see known from everyone around the world. In this last slide, you can see also some suggestion about the pairings. So like an aperitif, but also with curried meat, salami, or fresh cheese. Also, I can add also with like first dish or meat like maybe white meat. 8 to 10 are our number for the ideal service temperature. Okay, focus on our current vintage. Last year we had a very good year in the vineyards. So the wine that you can taste with the vintage 2019 is characterized by a balanced acidity, again fruit and flowers, and a big power of aging. The last James Suckling Awards say 92 points, like our score. Is not written on here, but just to focus on the vintage 2020, that is what we are working in this time. You know that part of the Cesari philosophy in general is to manage the vintage condition, I mean the climate condition, producing less or more because of the specific condition of the vintage. This year was a little bit harder considering what we had in 2019, but everything is going like we were thinking. So also the vintage 2020 is going to give us the same characteristic. Okay. Gemma. Gemma is another wine that for me is coming to present during also our appointment with you guys. And as I have always told to everyone, Gemma is for sure a wine, but is also a project and an idea. It's made by 100% of Corvina Veronese. The Corvina Veronese is the most important grape in the Valpolicella area. And the project of Cesari is to try to make people understand what does it mean Corvina 100%. So purity and Valpolicella 100%. So this is the reason why we connect this project and this wine with the name Gemma, that means gem. And in this slide you can see the concept that I have tried to explain to you. We are speaking about the purest expression of our land, and we are speaking about our Prince grapevine, the Corvina. Again, a map. I like the map so much. Okay, this is the Valpolicella area. On this side, I don't know if you can see me underline on the laptop the Lake of Garda. And this is where our single vineyard Gemma is located. The name of the village close to our vineyard is Sant'Ambrogio, 100% or Corvina. As you can see here, the training system is Pergola Veronese, and the production is 8-9 metric tons for hectare. Here a picture of our vineyards. Okay. Again, a picture about our soil. Most of everything that you can find inside the grapes comes from the soil and what there is inside. As I told you before, all this area was characterized by the erosion of the glaciers. This is the most important phenomenon that gave clay, gravels, and a lot of minerals inside the soil. This type of combination make our land unique and recognizable everywhere. There is something that I like also tell, that is a small history about the name of the Corvina. Corvina means small crown, and most of the grape from the Valpolicella area, like also Rondinella, that means small swallow, comes from the birds, because these birds are typical from all the area of the Valpolicella. So Corvina 100%, how we work on it. As you can see, the ripening is usually prolonged until the end of October. Then, speaking about the harvest, the grapes are placed in the drying cases for 20 days. That means that also in the Gemma winemaking is present the drying process that is the heart of our Amarone wine. But here, this process is just for 20 days. After the drying process, there is the fermentative maceration, 20 days. And then, as usual, we run through the malolactic fermentation. About our work in the cellar, as you can see, the 18 months, the first 18 months are spent in the French barrels. And at least we have six months in cask. After it, we have 1 year of bottling. This is common for us because bottling in general is good to give balance to the characteristic organolactic and of the structure of every single wine. How can we describe the Gemma organolactic speaking? Purple maybe is the color that is much more the representative one, and we have a very complete bouquet of flavors. You know that the cherry is the typical flavor from the Corvina Veronese. So for sure, cherries is the main flavor that you will immediately recognize when you are tasting the Gemma Corvina Veronese. And balanced. I'm used to drink Gemma also in my private life because I think it is perfect most every time. Well paired with a lot of type of dishes, as you can see here, but also with the cheese. What I appreciate about it is the softness and at the same time really the characteristic to be immediately recognizable. You can say this is Corvina, and you will taste it and you will never forget it. I mean, we always hope. At the end, a refresh about some awards that we have taken. So you can see most of them: Robert Parker, James Stacklin, Wine Spectator, and Vini Buonitalia Touring. Here you can understand how our wines, we are speaking about Gemma and Centofilari, but as you know, also all our Amarone are international recognized most everywhere. So we are proud of it too. And thank you.
Perfect.
Silence.
Thank you, Antonella. That
Perfect.
was terrific. Thank you so much.
I always have the impression to run, and I hope I'm not.
No, this was
And
great.
I hope everyone. Thank you.
Yeah,
but I didn't read the question.
Nope,
I see that
don't worry. I'll get to them for you now because I know you're on two screens. So.
Thank you.
So yeah, so there's actually a couple questions here. The first one.
Okay, when I can see it on the laptop in the participants,
Yep.
maybe.
No, it's under the chat. I can read them to you. Don't worry about it. Let me do it. The first one's actually
chat. Yes, maybe
yeah.
I can. Okay. Okay. Yes,
I'll let you do it
I
if
can.
You want to do it. Go ahead.
Sorry,
No,
I know that I have to.
No, it's fine.
Okay, I can see all of them.
You got them?
Okay.
All right.
What makes the winery special for the drying process?
I think he's referring to the Fumane cellar in that question.
I love George. Yes. Okay. George was the first question, so it is my first answer. The point is that Fumane represents the top of the technological system in the Valpolicella winemaking. What we have done using the technology is create the perfect ambient, which for sure the human work is always the heart, but everything can be also controlled automatically. This is our way to run to the perfect drying process. To answer to George, what makes the winery special for the drying process, I can see the combination of the technology and the human work. Trying to be perfect in drying the grapes and to have for sure the result of perfection in the wines. In the other general presentation, we were most focused on Fumane cellar. So I'm pretty sure that Mike has all the info about it also. Then there is a lot of feedback on this.
We had an issue with the other meeting.
Yes, I know. Is Turbiana grow? No, it's not. Okay, the question was, is Turbiana grown anywhere outside Lugana, or it is specific to the region? This is, thank you for the question, because it's important to understand the connection between the origin, that is for sure, the Tribiano grape is also in other region. And for example, as I told you before, we can speak about the Tribiano also for the Soave or in other region. But we decide, and when I say we, I mean our law, discovered and then decided that the Tribiano grape cultivated in the Lugana area, so in this specific region, cannot be considered a simple clone of the Tribiano, but has to be considered a unique grape from this land, so from this region. Mute. This is not for me.
Yeah, sorry about that.
No, no, don't worry. I'm smiling. I hope you are smiling with me.
Yes.
Okay, the skin contact, is that in tank? Yes. This is a question for me. The answer is yes. Until January, in tank is correct. Feedback. Oh, okay. That was the last question.
There's actually
And
one that
then
was
there
sent to
are.
Antonella. There was one sent to me. It was just me by accident, but I'll read it to you now and you can answer it. So the question was, does the Gemma spend a certain amount of time in bottle before it is released to market? So after
No, no,
the
no.
making process in cellar, do you then age in bottle before releasing to the general market?
1 year too, exactly. Bottling is always used for refine the wines. So yes.
Okay.
Yes, yes. Gemma too. Oh.
So I think that might be all the questions. Ken Carson wrote something to me. He said, I think he's referring to the Turbiano. He said, this grape, looked up this grape a few weeks ago and he said it might be related to the Verdecchio. Is that, do you know if that's accurate?
Okay, it's correct. Related at the beginning. At the beginning was related to all that grapes from the Tribiano family that is included also in the Verdicchio. I hope that is. Did I understand the question? Was it the question?
Yeah. I guess it was just clarifying if you knew if it was related to the Verdicchio grape.
Is correct. At the beginning, yes.
Okay.
Also Verdicchio and the Trebbiano di Soave. So absolutely correct.
Perfect. We'll give it another minute to see if anybody else has any other questions. But while we're waiting for that, I just wanted to thank all of you for coming today. Thank you, Antonella, for presenting again. It was wonderful. I apologize for the quick change on the link. We had a technical issue, but I appreciate everybody coming on still and getting to this new meeting room. With regards to the feedback, I know there was a good amount of it during the presentation for some of you. I didn't have any, and I was recording the presentation like we always do, so that will be available to everybody. If for whatever reason you missed some key points in the meeting, the recording should be clear and you can just sort of look through it at your leisure. It'll also be on our YouTube channel, the O-Pee-Chee Wines, so feel free to look for it there as well. So,
and as usual, Mike, you can add my email to everyone. I know that, as I told you, sometimes I go running quick. So for any question about the presentation, please just send me an email, and we can have a talk or whatever. So
absolutely.
yes. Tony, me too. To everyone, I miss you.
Yes,
so
we
much.
we know you're dying to be here and you can't right
I
now.
know,
Actually,
you know.
just stay
And
there,
this is true.
stay safe for the time being while it's,
And
it's
this is
still
true, but 2021 is close. Let's hope that will give us the opportunity to meet again.
2021 cannot come soon enough. That is for sure.
Okay, well, thank you.
That was it.
So much.
Thank you so much, Antonella. Thank you again to everybody. Feel free to unmute and say goodbye to Antonella if you'd like. And again, have a great weekend and we will see you soon.
Grazie.
Grazie.
Ciao, arrivederla.
Ciao a
tutti. Ciao a tutti.
Ciao. Oh, finally. Ciao.
What's up, Joe?